You may think that the things around you are harmless, but what if I told you some objects have a darkness embedded in them? A darkness so powerful, it haunts those who dare to possess them. There are relics, treasures, and even simple household items that carry terrible curses. Objects that bring misfortune, death, and even madness to anyone who crosses their path. Tonight, we uncover the chilling stories behind these cursed artifacts. Items that have been linked to tragedy, terror, and the unknown. Are you ready to discover the cursed objects that have changed lives, and maybe even fate itself? Annabelle the Doll. Our story begins in the late 1970s, when a nursing student named Donna received a seemingly innocent gift for her birthday, a Raggedy Ann doll. Little did she know, this gift would forever alter her life, and the lives of those around her. Donna and her roommate Angie quickly noticed something strange about the doll. At first, it seemed harmless, sitting on a bed, propped up on a chair. But soon, things took a darker turn. The doll would move on its own. It would change positions, seemingly of its own volition, and sometimes, just sometimes, it even left behind strange messages. They found notes scrawled in pen, "Help me," written in a handwriting that none of them could recognize. The doll didn't just sit still, it acted. And the girls weren't the only ones who experienced it. One day, a psychic medium was invited to the apartment, attempting to reach out to the spirit that seemed to be attached to the doll. What they discovered was terrifying. The doll wasn't just moving on its own. It was possessed by a spirit. And that spirit, an entity named Annabelle, was angry. But Annabelle wasn't a little girl spirit. It was something far darker. The spirit of a young girl had supposedly been trapped inside the doll, asking for help. But that's not all. According to the medium, the spirit wasn't a girl at all. It was a demon, masquerading as a lost child, feeding on the fear it created. Realizing the danger, Donna reached out to the famous paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren, hoping they could help. Upon their arrival, they confirmed the worst. Annabelle was not an innocent doll, but a vessel for a demonic force. The Warrens immediately performed an exorcism to rid the doll of the entity. But even after the ritual, Annabelle would not be contained. Annabelle was taken to the Warrens' home, where it now resides in a glass case, locked away from the world. The doll, however, is far from harmless. It continues to radiate an unsettling energy, causing misfortune to anyone who dares to come too close. The Curse of the Hope Diamond, a tale of beauty and misfortune. Deep within the Smithsonian Institution lies one of the most breathtaking gems in the world, a mesmerizing blue diamond, over 45 carats in weight, worth hundreds of millions of dollars. But this gem isn't just known for its beauty. This is the Hope Diamond, a jewel wrapped in mystery, legend, and a so-called curse that has haunted its owners for centuries. Our story begins in the 1600s in India, where legend says the diamond was plucked from the eye of a sacred Hindu idol. Known as the Tavernier Blue, the gem was first owned by Jean-Baptiste Tavernier, a French gem merchant. But fate would turn against Tavernier. After selling the diamond to King Louis XIV, it said he met a gruesome end, torn apart by wild dogs during his travels. Was this the first sign of the diamond's curse? By the 1800s, the diamond re-emerged in England, mysteriously recut into its current form. It changed hands among private owners, each meeting tragedy. One owner, Henry Philip Hope, gave the gem its name, but his family fell into financial ruin after his death. Stories of suicides, bankruptcies, and unexplained deaths trailed the diamond's path through Europe. In 1910, the diamond was acquired by American socialite Evelyn Walsh McLean. Evelyn believed in defying curses and wore the diamond proudly. Yet, misfortune struck her life. Her son died in a car accident, her daughter overdosed, and her husband was institutionalized. The diamond's shadow grew darker. Eventually, the Hope Diamond was purchased by jeweler Harry Winston, who donated it to the Smithsonian in 1958. Some say this act may have ended the curse, as the diamond now rests peacefully, untouched by tragedy. Or has it? A Smithsonian curator who handled the diamond reported a near-fatal car crash the same day. The curse, it seems, might still whisper its warnings. Today, millions visit the Hope Diamond, captivated by its stunning beauty and haunting history. Is it just an exquisite jewel with an unfortunate history? Or does this legendary gem carry a curse too powerful to ignore? The Dybbuk Box, the haunted artifact with a dark history. It all started in 2001 when a man named Kevin Mannis purchased an old wine cabinet at a garage sale in Portland, Oregon. The box, about the size of a small cabinet, was said to have belonged to a Holocaust survivor. The survivor, a woman, had apparently used it to store valuables before mysteriously passing away. What's unsettling, though, is what the woman said about the box before her death. A dybbuk is trapped inside. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is a dybbuk? A dybbuk is a malicious spirit from Jewish folklore, believed to be the restless soul of a person who has committed great sins. It is said that a dybbuk will possess the body of a living person, taking control and causing horrific, uncontrollable behaviors. The fact that this box supposedly contained one is enough to send shivers down your spine. After Kevin Mannis took the box home, strange things began to happen. First, he noticed a foul smell, like rotting flowers. Soon after, his life was consumed by an eerie series of events. He experienced nightmares of the woman who had owned the box. Then, objects began to move on their own. Lights flickered uncontrollably. And worst of all, Mannis claimed to feel a cold, malevolent presence lingering near him. Desperate for answers, Kevin did some research and uncovered the true horror. Every previous owner of the box had experienced similar misfortunes, with some even claiming to have been physically attacked by an unseen force. Today, the Dybbuk Box is on display at the Occult Museum in Connecticut, and it is considered one of the most haunted objects in the world. Visitors and staff alike continue to report chilling experiences whenever they come near the box. The Busby Stoop Chair. Our story begins in the 1700s, in a small village called East Yorkshire, England. A man named Thomas Busby was a notorious figure, a thief, a murderer, and a violent drunk. It is said that Busby would spend his days at a local pub, the Busby Stoop, in a tavern named after him. He was a bully, feared by locals, and would often pick fights with anyone who crossed him. One fateful day, Busby got into a heated argument with his father-in-law, Daniel. The dispute escalated so violently that Busby ended up killing Daniel in a fit of rage. But it wasn't just the murder that made this event so unsettling. It was what happened next. Before his execution, Busby was said to have cursed the chair he used at the pub, the very one that now sits in the Thirsk Museum in North Yorkshire. It's believed that he told anyone who sat in his chair would suffer a violent death. And so, the curse began. As the years passed, the chair became known as the Busby Stoop Chair, and its curse only grew in infamy. In the 19th century, it's said that two RAF pilots during World War II decided to test their luck by sitting in the chair. They didn't believe in the curse, and perhaps they should have. The two men were later killed in a plane crash. Another man, after sitting in the chair, reportedly died in a freak accident. Local tales say that even workers who tried to remove the chair from the pub met grisly fates. Eventually, after too many deaths, the chair was removed from the pub and sent to the Thirsk Museum, where it remains today. But even in the museum, the tales continue. Visitors are warned not to sit in the chair, though whether the curse is real or just a dark piece of history is up for debate. The Crying Boy, the haunted painting that won't let go. Created in the 1950s by Italian artist Giovanni Bragolin, The Crying Boy was an innocent-looking portrait of a young boy in tears. But for decades, this painting has been linked to a series of mysterious fires, destruction, and even death. So what makes this painting so dangerous? It all began in the UK in the 1980s. Hundreds of homes, many of them with the crying boy hanging on the walls, went up in flames. But here's the strange part. While the rest of the house was reduced to ashes, the painting always survived, untouched, unburned. It was as if the painting itself was immune to the flames. But the curse didn't stop there. Over the years, people who owned the painting reported a series of unsettling events. Strange accidents, nightmares, and even tragic deaths. Some believe the boy's sad, mournful expression was a warning, a silent cry for help from another world. Others thought it was the painting itself that was cursed, bringing doom to those who hung it in their homes. One owner, after losing everything in a fire, spoke of hearing whispers in the night. She said the boy in the painting would cry more loudly with each passing day, as if the painting itself was trying to tell her something. But what? Was it a warning of the fire that would consume her life, or a manifestation of something darker, something vengeful? Today, the crying boy is still available in antique shops and online, but with a strange aura of unease surrounding it. Though many dismiss the curse as superstition or coincidence, those who believe in its dark power continue to fear its reach. So, what do you think? Is it just a painting? Or is there something far more sinister hiding beneath its tearful gaze? Would you hang the crying boy in your home? Or would you avoid it at all costs, fearing the curse it might carry with it? From sparkling diamonds to sinister dolls, cursed objects seem to hold a mirror to our deepest fears. Are these stories just coincidences? Or do these objects truly carry dark energy? And before you go, have you checked your surroundings lately? Who knows what cursed object might already be lurking in your life? Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your own experiences with cursed objects in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.